This is not something that I'm proud of, but I completely bombed that class, failed it, and in this video I want to go through exactly why, what happened, and how you can learn from my mistakes. But it is true, I failed my ear training class back in college, and now I am an ear training coach. Now, I can go through exactly how the way that the music school taught school wasn't effective. I didn't like the order. There were some things that definitely could be improved, but the real reason that I failed was because of me. It wasn't because of any flaws in the schooling system or the way they taught. Like I said, there's definitely some things that can be improved. I think ear training should be taught in a different way. But the reason I failed is because I failed and completely screwed it up and messed up. Luckily, my teacher liked me so much that he curved the grade so I could just barely squeeze through and graduate, because all of my other classes were A's. But ear training was the hardest one. And here are some of the things that I learned by going through that class and seeing and reflecting on the mistakes that I made. Mistake number one is I didn't take my teacher's advice seriously about singing. Singing is one of the, if not the best way to train your ear and should be done a lot. But I didn't do this. I just tried to listen to things over and over and take the easy way. But I didn't take that seriously and I didn't sing. And you don't have to have a good voice to do this. You just need to match pitches. That's all you need. And you can do it where no one will hear you. All right. But that is mistake number one. Before I go into the next mistake, if you wouldn't mind liking the video and subscribing so you can get more content exactly like this. Mistake number two is that I did not practice this consistently. I did it here and there a little bit. Some days I did it for an hour and then weeks would go by and I wouldn't touch it. So a lot of my practice that I did was wasted because there was such a big period of time between when I did not practice. So not practicing consistently really hurt me. Mistake number three was I didn't get more advice from the people that had a good ear. I didn't talk to them and figure out what they were doing or try to practice with them and go through things. I didn't get help from others. I only asked my teacher one time what I can do. I didn't seek out help from other people to try to help me, they would have been very willing to help me out, but it was either my ego or I didn't want to ask for help because I was embarrassed that everyone else was so good at this and I wasn't. So not asking for help was another huge mistake that I made. And the last mistake was I didn't realize how important ear training was to every aspect of music. All great musicians have one thing in common, and that is ear training. They all have good ears. Having a good ear makes you take more convicting solos, make more powerful songs, makes you a better improviser with solos, with chords. It literally affects every single aspect of your playing. And at the time, I didn't realize this. I just thought, oh, I'd be able to listen to songs and figure them out without touching my guitar. Or I could do a couple other things, but I didn't realize how serious it was. If I realized how important ear training was in the beginning to becoming a great musician, I would have taken it more seriously. Those are all the mistakes that I made that I want you to avoid. And if you only get one thing from this video, I want you to realize that whether you think that ear training is too hard, or if you think you weren't born with natural talent, or that you can't develop a highly trained ear, it is all wrong. You absolutely can. I wasn't born with it. I struggled with it for a long time. But learning really effective ear training exercises, studying it, and practicing consistently, I now have a really high developed ear, and you can absolutely do the exact same thing. And if you want a highly developed ear, I invite you to check out my course called Complete Ear Mastery. This is a full in-depth course that I created specifically for guitarists to show you exactly how to develop a highly trained ear in the quickest amount of time and how to actually use it to become a much better guitar player. There's a link in the description below that you can check out, but I hope you got a lot of value from this video. Practice ear training consistently, and I'll see you at the next one.